What's up, people? What's going on? I was not expecting to do this tonight. I got hit up randomly earlier in the day saying from FRG, Clint, Pacius, just saying, hey, we should go live, and it was going to be the three of us. It was actually going to be the pre-game show and the post-game show going live all together, all at one time. And unfortunately, Clint and Clint were not able to join in with me today. So instead, it was just an impromptu, hey, let's just go live tonight. It's around 9 o'clock because why the hell not? So what's happening, people? I'm going to try and get all this stuff out for you as much as possible, all about the Braves. I did a bunch of research. I went through. I even talked to a friend of mine who on Twitter, this guy, Eric Marcus. It's Mr. Marcus. He gave me a ton of stuff about Atlanta. So I think I got a pretty good idea about them. We're going to see a lot. I got a lot of stats about Mike Foltynewicz, how the Dodgers do against him, how he's looked over the last 3 months, how the team has looked over the last 30 days, how the pitching staff has looked over the last 30 days. So this is going to be a lot of preview for tomorrow night's game. 5:30, game one, Hyunjin Ryu and a verse Mike Foltynewicz, and let's see what we get. And I'm sure we're going to get into the whole thing about why Kershaw's not starting in game one and why he's starting in game two, and I got a great answer for you. I believe it wholeheartedly. So let's start off with a quick preview, or actually let's just get into your questions, because this isn't about what I have to say. I want to know what you guys have to say, and I will bring in all of my stats as we go. And as you know, the rosters are not out yet, so I can't give you exactly. I can tell you what I think they're going to look like, but I can't tell you exactly what they're going to be. So, all right, help me out here. Let's see. What's I got from Stan Bloxon on Facebook. What's up, brother? Let's get this done. That's right. What's up from Tulsa, Oklahoma? Maybe we should start off that way. Where are you guys all hitting me up from right now? On a what day is today? I don't even know what day today is anymore. It's Wednesday. What's up on a Wednesday night? Where are you ready for this game tomorrow? I know I'm pumped and ready for this game tomorrow. And I'll be live with you after that game as well. And you should have a preview from the two Clints at the same time. Let's see. Jimmy Butler's going to the Heat. Is that done? I don't think that's done. Apparently that fell apart. But either way, let's see what you got. What's up from Tulsa? What's up, brother? Let's see. Get me in game two. I'll drive. That's right. Come on. Hi, 925 Antioch. What's up? Bay Area. Shout out. Shout out. That's Denise Cuevas. Let's get Go Blue from SinCal. Alex Rangel. Do you love us? Do you love me? I'm old Greg. Oh, the best skit ever. From Oregon, from Taylor Spencer. Lewiston, Idaho. Rika Powaki. Let's go. Let's just got tickets for tomorrow's game. Let's go. Good for you, Juan Gomez. You better be rooting hard for the blue. Let's see. What else? Who else do we got here? I got on the Dodgers Nation side. Are you nervous? No, I'm not nervous at all. I'm actually really excited for tomorrow. Doc better not mess it up like last season. Game 7 of the World Series. What's important this postseason, offense or pitching? I think pitching is always the most important thing, and I think this Dodgers team has great pitching top to bottom. Howdy. Fontana, California from D Love. Bakersfield, California. Let's see, Madera, California from, that's almost full. Chi Arles, 8845. Got tickets too. Good for you. Say hi to Salinas. What's up, Salinas from Boranda Girl? Cybernetic Slayer. Good evening, Cybernetic Slayer. Perfectly fine with Ryu starting game one. I'm glad you are, because I am too. Let's see, anybody on Twitch? Let's see, you got Braves. Man, get out of here, Hotboy906. You're just a troll with that Braves winning the NL. I got a bunch of stats for you. I'm going to show you. Doesn't look too good for you. Dodger smart for starting Kershaw game 2. I agree. Let's see. Who's ready for those stupid Braves? Everybody's ready for those stupid Braves. Where do I go to see you live on Facebook? You go to facebook.com/Dodgers Nation, and you can find me on Facebook. 702 Las Vegas, Nevada, but always repping the City of Angels, easy as AJD. That's right. Who are you? Who are you, Julie Complint? If you want to know who I am the producer of Mason and Ireland on ESPN LA 710, which is right behind me. And I've been doing this Dodgers Nation postgame for about 3 months now, talking to you guys, talking most of the time, talking you off a ledge. But right now, this is just to get you hyped up and ready to go for tomorrow against the Braves. That's the game right there. All right, so you know what? Mythical money. Yeah, you know what? On Mason Ireland, I made a $50,000 mythical money bet that the Dodgers would win the World Series, I make $225,000 in mythical money where I'm going to jump way ahead of everybody and be way over 300,000 and way above Mason and Ireland. So let's go blue. I need a win. It's at 9-2 odds, which was pretty dang good in my opinion. All right, so let's see. Hi from Vegas. I'll be there game 2. Let's go Dodgers. Mayra Martinez, root big time for Kershaw when you're there. A lot of people are worried about him. Can we get into that? Thank you for telling me where you're all from. Sup, David Rosales. I want to actually talk about this Kershaw-Ryu thing that's going on right now. Basically, Kershaw is starting game 2 and Ryu is starting game 1. A lot of people are starting to think, why is Ryu starting game 1 and Kershaw game 2? Does that mean that they're looking down upon Kershaw? No, that's not it at all. What it actually is that Ryu pitched on Friday last week and Kershaw pitched on Saturday. So while Kershaw didn't look very good on Saturday, he still would be on 4 days rest, which is normal rest, but he'd be on 4 days rest for Thursday, and Ryu would go on 6 days rest on Friday. So it makes sense. Swap them, have Ryu pitch game 1, because game 1 and game 2 are just as important as each other. So Ryu game 1, who's pitched great, he's pitching now on 5 days rest, and then Kershaw goes on 5 days rest, and then you have Buehler in game 3 on Sunday, who at that point is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 days rest is all. So you have your top 3, you have your top guys all on 5 days rest. And you have Hill, if you have to go to a game 4, who pitched on Sunday fantastically also, he would be on even long, he'd be on 6-7 days rest. So he'd have almost a full week. It's much better that that's what's happening. It's much better that you're going with Kershaw game 2 and Ryu in game 1. Plus, that also means that Kershaw will still be available for game 5 if there is a game 5, because he'll be on his regular 4-day rest at that point, because you have an off day on Saturday and you have an off day on Tuesday. So that with those extra 2 travel days and the 2 games, you have a 4-day rest, which means he'll be ready to go on that Wednesday. Now let's think about that even further. Let's say that Ryu pitches fantastically and Kershaw it doesn't all look all that great, and you feel like Ryu is the better pitcher in that situation, you're gonna go Ryu possibly in that game 5. So I personally think at the moment that I'm all for Kershaw in that game 5 if you need it. But I honestly think they're either going to sweep or they're going to get or Hill ends it on Monday. So it's no more than 4 games against this Atlanta team. So there's my reasoning for that. Let's see if you have anything to do about that. Let's see. Renee and Charity Regalado. Ryu is hot. 33 Ks and 4 walks. Both will be available for a possible Game 5. Exactly. Yes, Kristen Cungiardo. There is a game tomorrow. 5:30 Pacific time. Dodgers and Braves game 1. So yes, be ready for that game, Kristen. If needed, of course. Always, yes. Always if needed. Ryu is awesome. Rose Cueva Salas. I like it. Really like the way they planned out the rotation. Isaiah Jesse Vela. I totally agree with you. What's up, Juan Serrano? Thank God we don't have you garbage anymore. I totally agree with that. 100%. I still think, yes, Alex Rangel, I do think that he is still the go-to. 100% believe that still. Braves have better starting pitchers. No hate, just talking baseball. Hey, I'd love to talk that with you. And so you're saying that you would rather have, and this is Hot Boy, who's obviously a troll, but I'm going to answer you anyway. But Hot Boy, you're talking about Mike Foltynewicz, Anibal Sanchez, Kevin Gausman are your top 3. You think that's better than Hyun-Jin Ryu, Clayton Kershaw, and Walker Buehler. Walker Buehler may have the best stuff in all of baseball right now, and he's starting game 3. Hyun-Jin Ryu has not given up more than 3 runs at all this entire season, and in that, he's only done it twice. He's given up 3 runs twice, and 1 was very, very early in the year. So I don't know why you would think in that sense, but I'd love to hear why you think that. You're obviously listening. Smart move by Dodgers. Yeah, let's see. Mr. Mike Seaver, Mason, Ireland, we're overreacting to Kershaw pitching game 2 on today's show. I don't want to say they were overacting. I try to get my point across of why I thought that it wasn't as big of a deal as they wanted to make it. Sometimes people have difference of opinions, and Mason and Ireland, it's their show. I just want to get my point across on that, and I think that I did just that. And apparently, you, Mr. Mike Seaver, you totally agree with me also. And you know what? Either for me or for them, it's some growing pains. So I don't know. Hopefully everybody caught that. Hopefully that's why you did that. But whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm not worried about Kenley. Chris J. Hernandez. No. In non-save situations, he's awful. In save situations, he is fantastic. He is the go-to guy. He's going to be the guy. Mr. Mike Seaver. Mike Seaver was on Growing Pains. The whole thing. Come on. All right. Wearing 2013 playoff tee. Nice. Yeah. This is where I got it from. And it's also one of my favorite Dodgers shirts. It's just a little big. It's just like this giant, nice shirt to wear at 9 o'clock at night at home. So that's why that's going on. So pumped. Let's go Dodgers. Keep up the great work. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying to do what I can. They aren't risking losing Kershaw mentally with a bad game one. Less pressure handing him the lead. Yeah, most likely. But you also need that game to win, Dinos. I like what you're thinking in that. But I think the biggest part of that is not that he's not going game one. It's the fact that he's getting a 5 days rest and Ryu's getting 5 days rest, and they're both still available for a possible game 5. I just think it's better for them. Overall, it just makes sense. And then if you can get through into that next round, it keeps everybody on that nice rest for the next round for the NLCS if you make it that far, because everybody's still kind of in that order. Because you got to think, Buehler, say it goes longer than 3 and you make it to the NLCS, Buehler's now ready to go into that next game, and into the NLCS game 1 as your starter. And you can kind of start all over. At that point, either Ryu or Kershaw will be ready for game 2. Everything is just moving in nicely. It all kind of worked out. Love that pun. Yeah, you totally get the name. Yeah, exactly. Mr. Mike C. I love that show. He lived above the garage, and he's kind of like an evangelist now, right? I don't know. He totally turned into a different person. That's Mike Cameron, Candace Cameron, Mike Cameron, something like that. Dodgers in 4. That's what I think. I think Dodgers in 4. I would love to see it in 3, because I think if they can win those first 2 games, I think Buehler shuts it down. If they lose one of the games, then I think it goes 4. It's kind of tough to see that. Would you agree that Machado still needs that big moment as a Dodger? You know what, Aldel Del Toro, I did think that he needed that. I think that Saturday game against the Giants where he hit that triple, that was a huge momentum boost just for him specifically. It was in a later innings. It had a runner on base. It made the score go from 5-5 to 6-5. I think he brought in Kike in that situation, and that was a huge momentum builder for him specifically. And I want to get into exactly what Manny Machado is going to do, because I have on here Mike Foltynewicz, which, let me get this up for you. Mike Foltynewicz versus the Dodgers this year. He lost his only start against the Dodgers this year, and this is just him overall in general. Sorry, Instagram, you're not actually going to be able to see the actual the graphic, but in that first game, he went 5 innings. Foltynewicz went 5 innings, gave up 4 runs against the Dodgers, and he ended up going over 100 pitches in that time. They worked him. It was in July, like July 27th, I believe, and it just changed the way that, I mean, that was in LA too, so they've seen him before. I mean, obviously not everybody was there, but here you go with Mike Foltynewicz's numbers up against the Dodgers. I'm going to read them out for you for Instagram, so you can see what it is that I'm looking at when I'm looking at it. So the Dodgers, the guys that are going to pitch him, so he's a righty, so you have to expect that left-handed lineup where it's going to start off with Jock, and then it's going to go Jock, Turner, Muncy, Machado, I would assume Bellinger, and then you're going to see Puig, because he hits righties better than he does lefties with those reverse splits. Grandal will be in there, and Kike's just been too hot that you can't take him out of the lineup. So it'll probably be Kike in there, and then your pitcher spot in Ryu, who actually has been a pretty good hitter himself, which is kind of crazy. But as you can see here, so I'm only going to read off the ones that are actually probably going to be in that game against Foltynewicz. You have Cody Bellinger is 1 for 6. He's batting 167. He does have an RBI. Brian Dozier, who's not going to be playing in that game, but he is 2 for 6 with 2 doubles, which are nice numbers to see, but you're not going to see him because he's a righty. They're both righties. You won't see David Freese, although he is 0 for 3. Yasmani Grandal is 2 for 6 and with 2 home runs, so both of those. And in the last game this year, Grandal hit one of the home runs. It was also Alex Verdugo, who I don't think makes the roster. The guy that hits him the best, though, is actually Manny Machado. Manny Machado, who what you're going to see here is that Foltynewicz has 3 pitches, basically. He has a mid to high 90s fastball, he has a changeup, and he has a curve, and they're both solid pitches. but that changeup and that curve are a little bit softer, and that's kind of what Machado likes. Machado against Foltynewicz is 4 for 6 with 2 strikeouts, so he either gets on base or he strikes out, but he has the best numbers against Foltynewicz, so it's going to be good to see him there. Max Muncy is 0 for 3. Jock Peterson is 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts, which can be a little concerning, but when he saw him the last time, he wasn't that hot Jock that he was. The Jock bombs weren't coming in such in that large of margins as they are now. So, and Jock looks really good right now, so I'm okay with that. Puig is 0 for 3, not the best numbers right there for him. And so he pitches well against us, but Corey Seager always looked good, but he was 1 for 3 against him. Chris Taylor's got 3 for 5 with 2 doubles. Not going to see him, though, because he's a righty, most likely. It depends if they want to play the matchups or they want to stick with their full lefty-righty matchups. Kike is going to be in there. I don't see Kike's numbers on here, unfortunately, but those are the most of the guys that you're going to see up against Foltynewicz. All right, so there is that. We'll get into more numbers. I have a whole bunch of different stats that I want to throw in. Do I have a lamp? I do have a lamp. I got all the lights on that I got, man. This is as best as I got for you. Sorry about that. Brewers going to the World Series. I don't think so. Bob Hope, too. I think the Dodgers are going to win that division. This is going the distance. Can't wait. I love seeing that. Okay, now you're saying it. Hot Boy, you're changing on me. That's good. I'd rather you be on the Dodgers side anyway. You going to be at the game tomorrow? No, I'm not going to the game. I got to pick up my daughter, and then I'm going to be here, and there's a whole bunch of things that go on. I could go to the game, and I know most of you guys told me to go to the game, but I am not going to be going to the game tomorrow. Too bad. Kristen, I'm sure he's out. Let's see. So, all right. So I know you guys are going to want to go over the roster at some point. I'm going to just get this ready. I'm hoping for a home run derby. Ryu hasn't been giving up too many jacks, especially at home. So I don't expect so much of that. Who do you think's going to win, Rockies or Brewers? I think the Brewers, Taylor, takes that. I think the Brewers take that. That is a game where I think the Brewers are better than the Rockies. I could see the Rockies coming through in that, but I think the Brewers just all around are a better team, and that's going to be a hell of an NLCS if it works out that way. Dodgers and Brewers, solid matchup right there. All right, so let's see. I got on Dodgers on the Facebook. Or not on Facebook, sorry, the YouTube. Is there anyone that really scares you in the AL? I don't think anybody scares me in the playoffs, period. Once you get to this point, David Rosales, I think that the Dodgers are just better than most of these teams. I know you see that the Red Sox have won 300,000 games this year, whatever it was. The Yankees have a lot of power. It comes down to pitching, and the Red Sox pitching isn't as strong as it once was. Chris Sale hasn't looked good since he came off the DL, not really throwing it as hard as he was. I think he's looked okay. He is still Chris Sale, but he got beat up last year in the playoffs. Some guys just don't pitch well in the playoffs. And another guy that they have on that roster, David Price. David Price is not the best either in the playoffs. He's been really, really bad. I don't really trust Rick Porcello. I mean, there's a lot of the guys that they have on that team that I just don't see. I think for the most part, I think the Dodgers have the best all-around team. They are the strongest. Let's see. Don't worry about Jansen. He's fine in safe situation than nonce. I totally agree with you, Sopop Tep. 100%. Is Maeda a closer from here on out? Doug Gates, no. Kenley is your only closer. Only closer. Ryan Orion Montez. Greg, I wasn't expecting you to be on right now. No, I wasn't either, but I came on anyway because I got talked into it by Clint Pacias. You know what? I'm happy to do this with you guys. This is fun for me. I like doing this. Let me check out YouTube. Not YouTube. Why do I keep saying YouTube too? But I want to check out Instagram. Indians are scary. Indians are scary, and they were just there 2 years ago. If you want some of these teams to get knocked out early, but I think once you get into the World Series, it's such a crapshoot. It's really about just who's pitching the best at that time, and I'm hoping that the Dodgers have that pitching staff going strong by that point. My daughter Cordelia would love a shout-out. Go Dodgers. What's up, Cordelia? Hey, J9 Mama, always love when you're on here. I want a rematch with Houston. I want to beat up on Houston. I want that 4-game sweep on Houston. Dozier or Utley final spot. That's going to go to Dozier, Ahurst. It's going to go to Dozier. So let's do that real fast. I know you got a lot of questions, but let's go over what I think the team's going to look like. Most likely, and this is, I think, the 13-man batting order, the offense, your 1 through 8. That's what it's going to be. It's Turner, Machado, Bellinger, Taylor, Grandal, Barnes, Kike, Kemp, Puig, Peterson, Muncy, Dozier, and Freese. 13. That's it. That's what it's going to be. That's 100% your top 13. That's it. What's really going to be interesting is the bullpen because your top 4 pitchers are already set in Kershaw, Buehler, Hill, and Ryu. So those are your top 4, not in any order. But those 4 are in. I think Alex Wood gets in over Ross Stripling, so there's your long reliever. Then I think it's Kenley, Maeda, Ferguson, Alexander, Floro, Baez, and then there's one spot left. I know everybody wants to see Urias, but I don't believe he's going to get in. I think it's going to probably either go to a Rosscup or a Madsen, actually. A lot of people think Stripling, he's possible too, but I think it either goes to Madsen or Rosscup. I'd love to see Rosscup, but he's another lefty, so I think they're going to go with Madsen in that situation. So I think Baez is absolutely in. So that's going to be your 12 for the most part. I don't know exactly who that last spot is going to go to. We're going to find out probably sometime tomorrow, and we're going to all find out together. How's our pen? I think our pen is great, Alex Rangel. I think our pen is actually one of the best in baseball, especially in September. Top 2 easily since then. So, all right, let's see. Back here on the Periscope for ESPN LA. Audet El Toro, Pedro Baez has been the man. Definitely the main setup guy, 8th inning guy, right? No. Kenta Maeda is your 8th inning guy. They don't really go by that, but Maeda is your setup guy. They don't really like that term. What's really going to be is it's Maeda. You want to get to Maeda in the 8th inning. That's kind of what you're hoping for. Maeda in the 8th and Kenley in the 9th. So I would love to see Venditti, Sean Monje, but I had him on my list originally, but I just haven't seen him enough recently. Same with Rosscup. Those 2 guys seem to have not been around. Let's see. So isn't there a certain fear for Jansen if the Dodgers actually face the Rockies in the NLCS? There's a slight fear because you're always worried about his health, but Jansen has said he will be in Colorado if they have to go there. He's going there. He's going to go. The doctors apparently say it's okay. Hopefully nothing happens, but he says he's there, and there's not really much that's going to stop him from going there either. Let's see, William Wine Jr., I'm hopeful and just not as confident as you. I'm hopeful. Kofefi Coffee, Chris Taylor, and Freese need to play. They will play, especially against the lefty. It's just going to depend on who's coming out. But you have Fultonevich, who is a righty, who's going to be the first guy. He's going to be the one for Game 1. We'll get more into Game 2 with Anibal Sanchez, who's already been named the Game 2 starter on Friday, and you'll have that pregame with with them. But I'm thinking more about tomorrow's game specifically. What did you hear on Access Sportsnet tonight, E-Town Blizzball? You said they were both already ruled out according to Sportsnet LA. Who? E-Town Blizzball? Where are you? Are you talking about Madsen? Oh, you're talking Madsen and Rosscup? Okay, so they're both out. That means that they went... All right, so I didn't actually see that. So this is always conjecture, always. So that means that if it's Madsen and Rosscup are both out, that means that they're going with Stripling and Venditti, probably. Maybe they go Urias? I just don't see it. Should we be more aggressive with base stealing? No, I don't think so, Sean. I mean, you do it at the right time. They'll be aggressive when they feel like it's the right time to be aggressive. That you're not going to bring in Tim Locastro. He's not going to make the roster. He would be the guy that you would be most comfortable with stealing bases. But other guys can do it. They're going to do it at the right time. Who starts early game? Who starts every game regardless of lefty-righty? Right now, it's going to be... There's 3 guys that I could say will start every game at this moment. And obviously, it's always subject to change. But at this moment, Justin Turner, Manny Machado, every single game not guaranteed. The other guy, which is crazy to say, Kike Hernandez. Kike Hernandez is going to be starting every single game. It doesn't matter lefty, righty. He is playing out of his mind right now. And it's crazy, but yes, he is the 3rd guy every single day that will be in there. And he's either going to play center field, right field, or second base. Usually second base or center. It just depends on what the situation is. Bellinger looks like he is a now and forever a center fielder with either Muncy or Freese, depending on the matchup, being in that first base spot, which is crazy to think, if you want me to be honest. All right, Clay Kitchen. Would love to see the Dodgers close out the Braves on Monday because I'll be representing the East Coast Dodger Nation at the game up in Atlanta. Go Blue. Yes, Clay Kitchen. Go on Sunday, and hopefully it ends on Sunday. That's the best way you want that to happen. How many bat flips should we expect from Puig? Oh, man. I would love to see at least 3 bat flips from Puig in this series. Give it to me in one game and I'll be extremely happy. But I'm hoping for at least 3 bat flips. You know who's great at bat flips too? Max Muncy has been killing the bat flip game recently. Have you seen him? Oh, God, that home run he hit against the Rockies the other day, that was just a full-on flip. So get out of here, bat. Oh, it was fantastic. And I love the energy that they're having. Yes, David, the bat flips or bat licks. Absolutely. You never know which one it's going to be when it comes to Puig. Let's see what we got here back on YouTube. I know Stripling has been bad since the injury, but would you really want to set him out because of what he has been before the All-Star break? David Rosales. You know what, man? I know who he's been. It would be one of the... I was talking about it with Rick Krajewski, who's the stat guy for Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser, and it was interesting. He was saying like this, he wasn't sure of the numbers, but this may be the first All-Star that doesn't make the postseason roster after all that. And I think that's kind of crazy. And I don't know if it's true or not, but it may be. I don't know. My 8 to close, no, it's Jansen. It's Jansen. I know he hasn't looked great in non-save situations, but in save situations, he had 38 saves. He blew 4 saves all year, and 2 of those were like the first 2 saves of the year, somewhere around there. He's fine. He is absolutely fine. Of course, he gave up 2 home runs the other day because he was just throwing strikes right down the middle. He was just throwing heat, and it just didn't work out. I trust him in those situations. Do you think that Kenley will get it together? He's gotten it together. I think Kenley is fine. If you notice, when he had a 5-run lead against the Rockies, he gave up those 2 home runs. Then it became a save situation, and he shut everyone down, throwing 93 miles an hour. The cutter was cutting, and he was just mowing people away at that point. I think he's great. Why Ryu for Game 1? Dylan and Maxworthy, you know what? This is something I answered earlier. It's because it keeps Ryu and Kershaw on 5 days rest instead of 4 and 6, where Ryu would be on 6. And also because you're starting Kershaw in Game 2, he still is available to pitch on Wednesday if they need a Game 5. So Ryu and Kershaw would both be still available for that Game 5. So it doesn't matter. And don't really think about it as Game 1 and Game 2. Just think about it as Game 1 is important. Game 2 is just as important. If you win Game 1, put them away. Get that Game 2 win both at home and be up 2-0 with Walker Buehler ready to close it out. It's the best way to look at it, in my opinion. Brian Hatfield, hey, Greg, what are your thoughts on the SI article about Cuban players and the Dodgers? I know there's a lot of talk about those Cuban players. I mean, there's been a lot of Cuban players. I didn't see that exact article, but a lot of Cuban players haven't looked good with the Dodgers. There was the Alex Guerrero incident where he was biting people's ears and didn't look very good. Arizbel Arabuena wasn't looking very good, and he's nowhere near here. Hector Olivera was a big pickup, and he was absolutely terrible. He got moved over Atlanta, and you have not heard from him since. There's a lot of Cuban players that don't work out, but that's, you know what, there's a lot of players that come out of college that don't work out. There's a lot of players that come out of Los Angeles and come out of Chicago and come out of Florida that don't work out. I think it's a very small sample size, but a lot of Cuban players have looked really good, and I think Puig is starting to find himself again. So I think you can't look too much into exactly, I don't know exactly what it said, but I'm assuming it was negative because most of the Dodgers that were Cuban have been bad. So that's what I'm assuming. Jermaine Armenta, now for the front office to properly match the best analytic lineup because the random rotations and messed up strategies was making us look bad. Jermaine, those weren't random rotations and messed up strategies. Those were legitimate strategies. Those were legitimate Andrew Friedman and Farhan Zaidi looks of what he wanted. They absolutely were exactly what they knew, that when there's a right, they put guys in what they think is the best position to win, and that best position to win is playing a righty against a lefty and a lefty against a righty, unless you're Yasiel Puig, who has reverse splits and looks better against righties than he does lefties. So that's why you see Puig in against righties. It's always analytic based, and this is not going to be any different. And if they do it, great, because if you look, I showed you some of the numbers earlier. Chris Taylor looks better against Foltynewicz than Jock Peterson does. But you're talking 3 for 5 for Chris Taylor versus 0 for 6 for Jock Peterson. So you would think, oh, absolutely, you go Chris Taylor, who's looked really good recently, over Jock Peterson in center field. Probably not going to happen. You're probably going to see Jock Peterson lead off and Chris Taylor come off the bench late in the game. Just how it's probably going to be. I got some more stats here for you that I want to put up on the screen. I know there's a lot of these are coming, a lot of this stuff coming hot and heavy at this point, but I got some more stats for you. I'm going to go with Foltynewicz, and this is Foltynewicz's numbers over the last 3 months. So again, Instagram, I'm sorry you're not going to be able to see this, but I'm going to be having... it's going to put up some stats here, so I'm going to try and read off as best as you possibly can. I know there's a troll in there somewhere. Trolls love coming on and doing that kind of stuff. Don't just let them be. They're fine. It doesn't matter. I get made fun of constantly from Mason Ireland. You think a couple trolls are going to do anything? Get out of here. Thoughts on Urias moving forward before I get to the Mike Foltynewicz stuff. I think that Urias is not going to make it to this roster. I think you're going to see him in March next year in spring training, and that's when it's really going to start. I mean, Urias looked good, but unfortunately how he has been in these situations, he needs time in between starts, or time in between relief appearances, and he can't pitch on back-to-back days, and you kind of need that in a playoff setting, and I don't think he has that. If they do it, I'll be shocked, but hopefully I'm shocked because he's looked pretty good. All right, Mike Foltynewicz, over the last 3 months, if you can actually look here, you'll see that in July, I know on Instagram you can't, but you can see in July, he looked terrible, and that's when he saw the Dodgers. He gave up in 4 starts in a row from July 6th to the July 27th. He gave up 5 runs in 6 innings, 5 runs in 6 2/3, 4 runs in 5 2/3, 4 runs in 5 innings, and that was against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. Or no, it was in Atlanta. And he gave up 4 runs in that situation, 6 runs. He gave up 2 home runs, 1 to Alex Verdugo and 1 to Yasmani Grandal. And then it seemed to, after that game, he seemed to calm down a little bit in August and started to look a little bit better. You see he gave up 2 earned runs in 6 innings, 1 earned run, 1 earned run, 0 earned runs, 1 earned run, and then he had a rough outing against the Cubs with 4 earned runs. And in that time, he saw Colorado, who wasn't the hottest that time. Miami was terrible. Washington, who's not very good. Again, the Mets were in there as well. And so against the bad teams, he looked pretty good. And then in September, he was pretty solid. Going against Boston, he only gave up 1 run in 6 innings. Then he gave up 1 run in 9 innings. He had a complete game against San Francisco in San Francisco, although San Francisco, as we all saw, was complete garbage in September. Then against St. Louis, who was getting really hot in the middle of September and looked like they were going to possibly make the playoffs, really beat up on Foltynewicz in that point and put up 6 runs in 4 2/3 innings. So I'm hoping we see that Foltynewicz. But then right after that, he played Philadelphia twice, and I mean, come on now, Philadelphia was Philadelphia, and they were garbage too. He only gave up 2 runs in 7 1/3, and then 1 run in 5 innings. So you see, Mike, if you look at the stats, against the good teams, he looked pretty bad except for Boston. And then against the bad teams was when he really shined. So I think that you'll see that against the Dodgers, they're going to have, especially the way that the Dodgers have been hitting, I think he goes back into the teams like the Cubs and the Cardinals and, the good team, like the Dodgers, all this. You see when he plays those good teams, doesn't look as good. This is just stat-based, and that's what I'm seeing here. All right, I still have more stuff, and I'll get into the actual the lineup and all that kind of stuff, and we can get into Johan Camargo at third base, who's been looking really good, especially defensively. Their infield defense, when you have Freddie Freeman at first, Ozzie Albies at second, no Dansby Swanson most likely because of that torn ligament in his hand or wrist, and that means that old friend Charlie Culberson will be at shortstop. Is a pretty good defensive shortstop, got a good bat, a decent bat. And then Johan Camargo in that left field, in that third base. That's a good all-around infielder right there. Very good defensively, so that's going to be a lot. Peter Black, 5. Oh, you got this shirt on right now? It's all about Dodgers right now. It's every day, all day Dodgers. That's what I'm saying, man. Let's see, E-Town Blitzball. I think you're on 2 different ones here, actually, so good for you. Roscup, Venditti, Chagua, all already have been scratched out and have been packing bags. Okay, so good. I'm glad. Thank you for that. All those guys. So I can take Roscup off my list, which leaves back in Madsen, who you said is also not on there. So that means it's going to be Stripling and Venditti's not there. I don't know who they're going to go with there. And if all those guys are gone, that means that it might be Urias. Urias might make that roster if if you're telling me that Roskopp, Venditti, Chagua was never on my list, and Matson are all not already packed their bags and they're done, then you're probably seeing Urias, which I'm shocked about. And I've been saying for a while that I didn't think it was going to happen, but apparently it did. Des D, 1S Life. When will we see Newcomb? Apparently, Sean Newcomb, when he had that game against the Dodgers where he almost no-hit us, he has totally fallen apart down the stretch. Maybe it was overuse, maybe it was something else, but he has been falling apart. He's going to be maybe a long reliever, or they might start him in maybe a game 4 with somebody else like a Touki Toussaint or a Julio Teheran, who none of those guys have looked all that great. So you could possibly see a few of those guys work together with Newcomb, because apparently Newcomb is not doing all that well. Let's see. So Jeremy Ross, I heard there's contract extension talks with Doc. I'm happy about that. Are you? Yes, Jeremy, I'm very happy about that. I feel he absolutely should be the Dodgers manager, and he should be the Dodgers manager for a while. There's a great article. Go read Bill Shaken in LA Times. I think it was just today that it came out, and in that sense, if you actually read the article basically says without saying that he kind of does whatever the front office wants. And that's interesting because he wants to get this narrative away that he doesn't do anything. He's in the meetings and he's having a say, and he's talking with the front office, with Andrew Friedman and Farhan Zaidi and all the other guys that are up in that they're clicking away on their keyboard. But when push comes to shove, he does not get a deciding factor. He knows who's coming in what inning in every situation before the game actually starts. And what he does great is he keeps the bullpen. He keeps the dugout and he keeps the locker room together, and he gets along great with the guys, and he can go stand at a podium and he can talk to you guys and he can talk to the media and tell you everything that you want to hear. But the issue is I just don't think he makes many decisions, and that's why he's great for this job, and he's going to be here, and he believes in the analytics, and he does the whole thing. So I'm very, very happy with Doc, and I think he's going to be here for a little while. At least give him a 3-year extension, and it'll be the first time, which is what's crazy. If he goes 3 more years, if he gets a 3-year extension and he manages for all 3 years, it'll be the first Dodgers manager to go 6 years since Tommy Lasorda. Tommy Lasorda. That was so long ago. There was Grady Little in there, and there was Jim Tracy, and there was Glenn Hoffman, and there was a whole bunch of other guys that were all in between. There was Don Mattingly. There's a whole bunch of guys that go in and out, in and out. I don't want to go anymore in and out. I just want Doc there, and let's keep Doc there. That's where he belongs. Where did you get that T-shirt, Beth Milstein? It's great. I got it at a Dodger game. It was free at a Dodger game in the 2013 playoffs, I believe. Ryan O'Ryan Montez, I answer a lot of your questions, apparently. Greg, do you think the Cubs' loss yesterday is a weight off of our shoulders on the road to the World Series? No, I don't think it's a weight off our shoulders. I think that it would have been nice. I like the idea of the rivalry between the Cubs and the Dodgers in the NLCS every single year. I mean, it's good to see another Bill Russell. Yeah, there you go. What did I say? Glenn Hoffman was in there too. Bill Russell too was in there. But it'd be nice to see the Cubs there because I like the rivalry aspect of it. I think the Brewers are a better team than the Cubs. So if the Cubs could have gotten past the Brewers, I don't really want to see the Brewers. I think in a 7-game series is much better than that short 5-game series like the Rockies are in. But the Brewers worry me a little bit. Christian Yelich and that bullpen is really, really good. Lorenzo Cain gets monster hits. I think Jesus Aguilar is really good. Travis Shaw is really good. Ryan Braun has actually been really good down the stretch. There's a lot of there. Dolores Sanchez, 3-year extension. Are you smoking something? Heck no, unless he gets us a ring. He's going to be back. I'm sorry, Dolores. He's going to be back. Oh, how did I forget Jim Torre? Torre's in there, just like Jim Torre. Torre was in there. Unbelievable. Play Wood in the 7th. Alexander is trash. Alexander is not trash. If you actually watch his games, especially where he's been giving up runs, he gave up that 3-run home run, but you have to remember, right before that, he gave up 3 ground balls, exactly what he's supposed to do. And really, let's be honest, they're going to play the matchups. Scott Alexander is a loogie. He is a lefty that is only going to come up against lefties. He is a lefty-only guy. I got trust in Scott Alexander, though. I don't know why. I'm a big Scott Alexander guy. I just think that he is going to come through because I like guys that get ground balls. But you should at least be able to tell right away when that ball, if he gets balls in the air, if people are hitting him into the outfield and they're not on the ground, get him out. Don't give him any space. If that's happening, that means he doesn't got it. You got to pull him. Don't let him sit there. Now is not the time. Dylan Floro, when he got hit up, it was all because everything was off the bat into the outfield, and there was nothing on the ground. They are ground ball pitchers, and if they're not getting balls on the ground, they're going to give up jacks. It's just how it is. Let's see. Greg plus Alexander equals Twins. Apparently now I look like Scott Alexander. I look like Chris Taylor. I look like Scott Alexander. Someone said I look like Yasiel Puig. I got a Cody Bellinger. Basically, apparently this face is the face of every single Dodger at this point, except for Kike because I don't have a clean-shaven face, and he's pretty looking like Chase Utley. Any chance Mike Scioscia lands somewhere in the Dodgers organization? Jacob Caldera, 1977? No, I think he wants to be a big league manager. I just don't think he's ever going to be a big league manager again. I think he's pretty much done at this point. I mean, Floro is reliable, kind of. Crazy Gio, yeah. Low-key Chris Taylor, Kevin Reyes, yeah, that's what most of the time I get is I get a lot of Chris Taylor. That's just how it is. Did you see, though? There was someone on Twitter, Megan something or other, I forget who, Montero or Montez or something along those lines. She made a bracket of like who are the hottest Dodgers, and it went through everybody. A lot of Chase Utleys, a lot of Kike Hernandez, Matt Kemp won a bunch, but Chris Taylor won a couple. And Chris Taylor usually went pretty far into it, got to like the Elite Eight or the Final Four some of the time. So I felt pretty good about that. Being that people think that I look like I look like him. Hey, that's cool with that. Hey, a super heart from Dino's 5150. I don't know what a super heart is, but thanks, man. That's my first super heart, whatever a super heart is. Can someone tell me what a super heart is? It's like a big giant heart, maybe? I don't know. You should check out my YouTube channel, E-Town Blitzball League. It's a cool wiffle ball channel. Yeah, hey, there you go. You got a free shout out because I didn't read it ahead of time. What are the Dodgers going to do with Corey? Corey will be back next year, Richard Moreno. Don't worry about Corey Seager. He will be back next year with no issues, hopefully. I said Jim Torre. It's Joe Torre. You're absolutely right. Have you been told you look like Andre Ethier with that facial fuzz? No, that's the first one of Andre Ethier. I have a friend, Bradley Rosenblum, if anybody knows him. He actually looks exactly like Andre Ethier, and he is the spitting image of Andre Ethier. And I'll take Ethier. I love Ethier. He was great. Do Rockies have a chance against the Brewers' Bill Vallejo? Yes, they absolutely do have a chance. I think they could pull off an upset there. I just don't think they're going to pull off the upset. All right, let's get back into this game a little bit. I want to show I got all these stats, and I want to make sure that I get them all out here. This is over the last 30 days. These are the hitters for the Braves over the last 30 days, and you're going to be able to see once it finally comes up on the board here. Again, Instagram, I can't make it go down there. I wish I could, but it doesn't work that way. Yes, Corey is under contract he's under contract for a while, and also he's been around for he's making like $650,000, something like that. It's something crazy small. So don't worry about Corey Seager. He's gonna be around for a while. He's got a Hearttron for you. That's funny. All right, so I'm just gonna get rid of this little thing for a second, just so you can see. So the best hitters for the Braves recently have been, over the last 30 days, Freddie Freeman has been one of the best hitters and he's one of the best hitters in all of baseball, period. So you don't have to worry about what you're going to see. You just have to hold him down. Ronald Acuna Jr. is also another guy that's been hitting really, really well. But you'll see Freddie Freeman over the last 30 days is batting .330 with a .907 OPS. That's huge. Those are really good numbers in September. Kurt Suzuki, one of the catchers, he doesn't play as much as Tyler Flowers. It's a pretty much a fair split between Flowers and Suzuki. They split off a lot of the time. Suzuki's been hitting much better than Flowers, whereas Suzuki's batting .300 with a .958 OPS. He's got 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, so he's been looking really good. The biggest guy that you're going to see, though, is Ronald Acuna Jr. And Ronald Acuna Jr. is one of those guys that could be a make or break for the Atlanta Braves. You have to think, this dude, especially at in the leadoff spot. He just kills the ball. In the last 30 days, he's got 3 home runs, 14 RBIs. He's got an 890 OPS, 299. He's got 29 hits in his last 97 at-bats. Dude is just raking right now. And here's the thing, though. He is young. He is a rookie. He's going to be – there's a lot of pressure. And what you see from him is the biggest deal that you're going to get. Because if you can shut down Acuna early, the rest of it kind of starts falling down below it, right below it. Ender Inciarte has looked pretty good. Johan Camargo is a decently – he has some power. He's got 4 home runs and 11 RBIs in the last 30 days. But – he hasn't been hitting very well. 237 with below right around a 750 OPS. Lucas Duda has been okay, but the main guys that you're gonna see, like Ozzy Albies. Ozzy Albies is another guy at second base who's a young guy that started off really, really hot and has now slowed down a ton. Over the last 30 days, he's batting 183 with a 617 OPS. That means that he's just not hitting the ball, and a 262 on base percentage. With that means a lot for this team, because when you see a lot of guys not hitting very well, that's a good thing. I don't have the Dodgers stats up there, but you see a lot of Dodgers are hitting the ball really well right now. Justin Turner's been the best in baseball. Manny Machado's gotten some big hits. David Freese is getting huge hits. Kike Hernandez is beyond hot right now. Even Yasmani Grandal is hitting the ball really, really well right now, seeing the ball really well. Other guys that you want, Dansby Swanson was one guy that was, you don't even see him on here. He's here, but he's not going to be playing, and he's kind of fell apart. Charlie Culberson's right around 200 recently with a 625 OPS. You're not seeing, it's really just a few guys in Freddie Freeman, Ronald Acuna Jr., Ender Inciarte, and Kurt Suzuki. Those are your big hitters right now. And then Nick Markakis is always solid, but he's, that's from what I'm seeing here, he's got a 261 average, 0 home runs, 10 RBIs. He's got a 666 OPS, but the biggest part of that is he's got a 359 on base percentage. So you got to get through that top of the lineup, and that's a huge, huge deal. They get through that top of the lineup, Ryu shuts them down, you're going to see a lot of good things for the Dodgers, and it's going to take a lot for the Dodgers to get away from that. Okay, so rocking the 2013 lineup on your shirt, I love it. Yep, Mr. ATAP, yep, because it was a fun year. Look at it. Who do I got on here? I got Carl Crawford, AJ Ellis, Andre Ethier, Adrian Gonzalez, Zach Greinke. I got Clayton Kershaw, Matt Kemp still was on this team. What do we got here? Hanley Ramirez, Juan Uribe. Did Juan Uribe hit a big home run in Atlanta? I think he did. I think he kind of did. So I always love seeing Uribe on it. I know he made it all the way to the bottom, but this is a great shirt and I love it. I've had it forever. These streams are the light of my night. Hey, I'm glad that you enjoy them. Maybe I'll check your wiffle ball thing out another time. What position will Corey play now since Manny at shortstop? Manny needs to get re-signed before he gets there, so don't get ahead of yourself just a little bit there, okay? Let's make sure that happens first. Okay, is Steve Manchin watching O Gonzu? Let me tell you something. No, he's not. So I can say whatever I want, but I'm not. I love Steve. Steve does a great job. Without Steve, I wouldn't be even on this platform right now. So this is a huge deal, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate ESPN LA helping me out with all that. You should check out my YouTube channel. We already did that. I'm not going to do that again. You almost caught me twice there, buddy. Drew Castellano 1. You shine for the Dodgers tomorrow. Who shines for the Dodgers tomorrow? What matchup are you looking forward to watch? You know what? I showed it earlier. I'm looking forward to Manny Machado against Mike Foltynewicz is 4 of 6. He doesn't have any home runs, but you can see that Machado is looking better over the last couple games. So I'm hoping that he has a huge game. He sees Foltynewicz really well, apparently, with that 4 for 6. So I'm hoping to see a lot out of him. And I need to see Justin Turner really can keep it going as he is. I think Grandal can have a big series too. He's had 2 home runs against Foltynewicz in the past, and one of them was this year already. So that means in the 2 games that they've seen Foltynewicz, he's hit a home run off him both times. So let's expect a big game from Grandal, who has been good over the last couple weeks. He's found when he's hot, he's hot. When he's cold, he's super cold. And right now he's hot. Does Smoltz hate the Dodgers? Dodgers gang, no. No, nobody hates the Dodgers. Joe Buck doesn't hate the Dodgers, okay? Nobody hates the Dodgers. Nobody hates the Braves. None of that stuff. Although, I'll tell you this. The Braves announcer, like Joe Simpson, he hates the Dodgers because, you know, they were wearing T-shirts at batting practice that said, strike out for cancer. Oh, no. Crazy Joe Simpson. That's exactly what he is. He's crazy old man Joe Simpson. All right, let's see. Machado not in playoff games since 2016. Only 7 postseason games played. Interesting. Well, I mean, Dinos, think about it. He was on a really bad Baltimore Orioles team. The Baltimore Orioles this year lost 115 games. They lost 115 games. Buck Showalter got fired. Dan Duquette got fired. Yes, of course they didn't make it. It was only a couple years ago when he was a rookie was when they was really doing well. When he had Jones and Crush Davis was having a good year. There was a lot of good. Like, that was it. But since then, they're not really that good. So no, nobody has. Are you going to any of the games? Unfortunately, no. I got a lot of I have kids. I got family duties. I would love to go to the games, but I think that it's better to be here and with my family. And I could go, but I think it's more important to do that. And then I can just easily jump on with you guys right after the game. And I don't know how I am with those games. I don't do well. I don't want to sit in a press box where I have to go. I can't clap. I can't cheer. I can't do anything. I'm a fan, just like everybody else too. And I want to get excited when Cody Bellinger hits a 2-run home run. I want to jump out of my seat and get excited and throw my fists in the air. If I'm sitting in the press box, I'm gonna have to be like, "Oh, home run! Look at that, Cody Bellinger home run. 2-0 Dodgers. All right, great. So, what's happening with you, Eric Steven? Like, no, that's not fun to me. That's not fun. I want to watch the games, and being at the games like that is not fun." Joe Simpson said Dodgers fans won't be able to know their players. They don't have their last name. I mean, look, man, are you telling me if the Braves went and were just wearing T-shirts, the Braves fans wouldn't be like, "Oh, look, I don't know who Ronald Acuna Jr. is. Who Freddie Freeman? What do you look like?" It's just ridiculous. Nick Markakis, it's like, come on, get out of here. Yes, I hope it works. Let's see. Nick Stocks, why is it on MLB Network? Because they switch off. I mean, it's just like MLB Network, the ALDS and the NLDS have two different sites. The ALDS, actually, the MLB Network gets certain games. So they're getting this game, and I think they're getting the Sunday game for for Brewers and Rockies as well, also. And I think you'll see it other places too. I'll do it for you. I believe so, Betty. Betty Ann Rosales, yes, hope it works. No, I don't know what you guys are talking to yourself, and I love it. Keep talking to yourselves. Let's see. What do we have here? If Manny signs with the Dodgers, would you play Seager at second? Yes, I would. Or I would move Turner to second and have Seager at third. But most likely I would have Seager at second. Turner has been a great third baseman, although he's kind of freaked out a little bit recently, which is weird. I'm with you about Alexander. He's an 82% ground ball rate for a reason. Thank you, Tupac71. That's what he does, but you can tell right away whether he has it or not. And if he doesn't have it, get him out. This is not time to screw around. I don't sun shining at Seton Dodger. I don't know what that is. Let's see, back over here. Oh, let's go over to Facebook. You guys are talking to yourself, which I love. This series is going to remind me of the Dodgers-Braves series in the 90s. I hope so, but I want it to be the Dodgers going sweeping right through it. I don't want to see any. I don't want to see any losses. So Hop Tep. Only one catcher on the playoff roster? No. Austin Barnes will absolutely be on that playoff roster. No matter what, he will 100% will be there. Let's see. Only one. Beth Milstein, do you think the guys will work the count and take shorter swings? I do think so. That's actually a really good question, Beth. I do think that they're going to shorten up their swings. They're going to shorten up... Let's see. They're going to shorten up their swings. I think Cody Bellinger is the best at this. And Chris Taylor's been doing it a lot too. But Cody Bellinger, you'll watch, with 2 strikes, he is shortening up. He's just getting on base. And because of that, he's not swinging for the fences. He's moving guys over. And he's doing what he needs to do. He's changed as a hitter recently. And it looks great. I'm very happy with what he's been doing. All right, I got 5 more minutes. So I just want to throw in this last little stat here that I got for you. It is going to be about the pitchers, so you can see kind of what the bullpen looks like as well. Again, Instagram, you can't see it. I can't just shoot it from there to there. I wish I could, but I cannot do that. Maybe what I can do here, you know what? Maybe we can try this. I don't know if I can see it. Once it comes up, I'm going to actually turn it. Nah, forget it. You guys can just hear me talk about it. That'll be easier for you. So what you're going to see is, so you can look here, you can see who's pitching the best and who's kind of not looking so good. Mike Foltynewicz, over the last 30 days, has a 3 ERA. He's pitched 5 times. He's given up 11 runs in the last 5 games that he's pitched. So, and he goes over that 100 pitch count a lot. So he's going to be a little bit tired. You just have to work him. You have to work the count, and you should be able to do that against him. And other guys that you're going to probably see that are going to come out of the pen are Winkler, who is supposed to be really good. He's been really bad over the last. He's come in 8 times. He's seen 8 games. He's given up 8 runs in that time. So you'll see that if you see Winkler, that's a good thing. Let's see. They're also gonna have Venters is supposed to be another one of their guys out of the pen. He's not looked really good. 1-1 over his last. Been in 13 appearances in the last 30 games. He's given up 7 runs. Another guy, Biddle, he's got 8 runs in his last 11 games. So even Kevin Gausman, who's gonna be your game 3 starter, he is 1-2 with almost a 5 ERA, giving up 12 earned. 12 earned runs over his last 30 days, and that's only. What is that? 5 starts? No, it's 4 starts to give up 12 runs. So he's getting hit, and that's what's a good thing. You're seeing a lot of the guys. Anibal Sanchez has probably been the best of all of their starters, and he's your game 2 starter versus Kershaw, and he's throwing a 2.25 ERA in his last 5 outings, where he's only given up 7 runs, which 7 runs is still a decent amount over his last 5 starts. So those are the types of the guys that you're going to see. You're going to see, and the guy that's probably looked the best is their closer. Which is, I don't know if he's on, is Aroldis Vizcaino, and he hasn't looked all that good. He's been in 6 times, and he's given up 3 runs in his last 6 outings. So that's only in 5 2/3 innings. So the bullpen is garbage, and that's a huge deal. I probably should have looked at this one. It's much easier to read than that tiny little screen over there. But anyway, this is the bullpen for the for the Braves, not very good. So if you can work the count against Foltynewicz and Sanchez and Gausman, you'll be able to get to that bullpen, and that will be where they get it done. And I think they can, but I think they can hit Foltynewicz. I just don't see it from this Braves team. I just don't see them being the team that you want, that you think they're going to be, that they have been for this year, where they won 90 games. Dodgers just look like the better team, and they're going to be the better team. All right, I'm in my 2-minute warning. I'm in my 2-minute warning, so I'm going to give you one question from each, like I always love to do. Brought to you by nobody, but that's fine. Let's see. Dodgers and Rockies in the LCS. Oh, that's very, very possible. Gotta go Dodgers. Thank you, Rafael Santiago. Garbage like Darvish. Yeah, man. Yes, Darvish was garbage, and that's why he barely pitched. Paul, I doubted Chase will be in the roster, but I would love to see him on the 25-man roster. He's not going to be on there. He will not be on that roster. Let's see. Jose Gonzalez, Sopop Jansen. No, you guys are talking to each other. Good. Go ahead. You guys talk to each other. I'm going to move over to the ESPN Los Angeles Periscope and get one last question. Are you going to any of the games? No, I'm not going to any of the games. Is a healthy Corey Seager a top 5 shortstop? Yes, I think he's going to be an MVP candidate at some point. So there's that. Let's go over to the Dodgers Nation Periscope. Let's see what you guys have. Hello. Doing great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. What's your 25 prediction? I did all that. I'll try and run through it really fast, though. But Turner, Machado, Bellinger, Taylor, Grandal, Barnes, Kike, Kemp, Puig, Peterson, Muncy, Dozier, Freeze, Kershaw, Buehler, Hill, Ryu, Wood, Kenley, Maeda, Ferguson, Alexander, Floro, Baez. From what I'm understanding, it's going to be Stripling and possibly Urias, but I thought it was going to be either Roscup or Venditti and not Urias and not Stripling, but we'll see. That's obviously not going to happen, but apparently Urias has a good shot at it. So that is my quick one. Hi, Greg. Did you read the LA Times article revisiting Game 5 of last year? It got me super emo. No, I stayed away from it because it was really too tough for me to read. I didn't want any part of that. Let's see. I got, you think we're beating the Braves from Brandon Marquez? Yes, I do think that we're beating the Braves. Imagine if Seager can adjust to second and Manny kills it at shortstop next year. That would be a fantastic line. That's a great infield. You think we are beating the Braves? Yes, I think we beat them in 4. I would love to see it in 3, though. Let's see, going over here, let's go to Instagram. What do you think about the Dodgers versus Astros again? If it happens, I think the Dodgers could walk away with that one. Take them out in 5. I think it'll be a quick series. I'm going to the NLDS game too. Good for you, Jacob. Love it. Albert Duran, let's go Dodgers. All right. Perfect. Thank you guys very much for coming on this random time out of nowhere. It was just a complete, impromptu going on to talk about the Braves. I hope I gave you enough answers about the Braves and showed you enough stats and whatever else that you wanted to hear about them. I got more. If you want to continue talking to me and you want to have more, I'll be on at Bergman Greg on Twitter for a little while now, at Bergman Greg. You can find me there. I'm happy to answer everybody and get into a whole big discussion with you for a little while. And I'm going to be on there all day tomorrow. And then tomorrow I'll be watching the game, and I will be here with you guys on all of these platforms for Dodgers Nation and ESPN LA after the game, like always, and every single Dodgers game from now on. I will be on here with you after the games, especially this year. All right, thank you guys very much. Let's go Dodgers. Let's go Ryu. Let's get that first game win, and let's go Dodgers. See you guys tomorrow. I'm out of here. See ya.